Hi guys, Simon here, Aria's pipe smoker, and you've guessed it, I'm walking up a steep hill. We're off to find an abandoned building again, another abandoned building hunt in the mountains of South France, the Pyrenees. Just getting a bit of breath back and getting some of the leg cramp out before the next uphill. I kind of brought my old meerschaum out today. When I set off this morning, it was quite windy and very overcast and grey, and I kind of thought it was going to be too windy to bring a briar out. I didn't want it getting too hot of the wind blowing across the bowl. And now I'm into the walk a little bit. It has brightened up slightly and there is no wind, but there are big lightning storms forecast and rainstorms for later on today, so I kind of leapt out with the video camera in a hope I can kind of make a film without getting soaking wet in a big lightning storm walking back home through the forest, because for the next week the weather looks pretty bad actually, so I don't know if I'll be able to get out and make any more videos. And when we get to the abandoned dwelling we're off to, I'm going to taste some of my homemade tobacco. I have a chat about that. But for the walk up here, Beron's Solent mix, which is I think it's like Burley, Virginia, Cavendish and a little bit of Latakia. I only got a sample, so I couldn't really detect any tin note in the plastic bag. It's going like a ready rubbed affair. And according to tobacco reviews, it has like a vanilla rum topping with something else. But I'm not actually getting any of that, to be honest. All I'm getting is tobacco at the moment, but I'm not really smoking at the second walking up this hill. So let me walk up this hill and we'll continue the conversation then. There's signs of civilization. I'm not sure what this, well, some kind of pond or possibly, I'd say it's a failed attempt to capture water. Quite where it's capturing water from, I don't know. It's quite wet underfoot under the leaves there though. It could just be a little bubbling spring that kind of disperses. Yeah, saying this Beron's Solent. I'm not really getting any of the rums or vanillas. Let's go up here. It is smoking. Mind you, this pipe does gurgle slightly sometimes, and it is being a bit gurgly. But that can be this pipe. Although it is reasonably moist, the tobacco. can't really I think of anything constructive to say about the tobacco, and I don't mean that in a bad sense, that it's all bad. I'm just not really picking much or many flavours out. I mean, it's kind of quite there is flavour there. It's quite a rich flavour. I think it's blended in such a way that it's quite hard to pick out the Barleys and the Virginias, and it's kind of a bit of an all-rounded flavour, which maybe this is where the toppings come into play to help round off the flavour profile. So it's like one homogenised thing rather than separate elements. That could be me. It's because I'm walking up a hill. Right. Well, it's quite pleasant. I'm not finding it outstanding or particularly noteworthy. I've only had a couple of bowls. Again, it was a sample that was sent to me, so sometimes it takes a bit more than a few bowls to appreciate a tobacco. Looks like a refugee camp. But I guess in some ways there's lots of stuff here. It looks like somebody has had their belongings and they've covered them up and never come back, and the wind and the weather has uncovered their pots and pans. But I mean, in reality, you could turn up here and there's everything you'd need to survive. There's some dry firewood, there's sheeting to make a shelter with, there's kettles so you can sterilise water. I guess this would have been a vegetable garden, raised beds. So yeah, why it may look a little bit of a refugee camp, I think when it was left it was probably all quite neat and tidy and covered up, and the ravages of time and the weather have uncovered things. Well, I guess we should see if anyone's at home. Hello, it's Simon, Harrier's pipe soaker. Anyone at home? Well, someone used to live here. I think the guy is reasonably known. I think he's a bit of a hermit. Like he would live up here and never go down to town to get shopping, and relied on people bringing him things up. Got some bit of an alcohol stash by the look of things. Kind of sink, water. God, I don't know if I'd fancy sleeping on that bed. It looks something out of a Victorian mental asylum, as they used to call them. Well, I've just discovered a trapdoor. Oh, I can't get it open. Now I see, I think there's been a drip from the roof and it's swollen up. And yeah. Oh well. I guess that is kitchen, pots and pans. Some books. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go through cupboards and things. It's sort of somebody's private space, even though they're not here and haven't been here for a couple of years apparently. So nice wood pile. You can always judge a man by his wood pile, so they say. And the wood pile looks pretty good. And again, to put it into context, the hillside we can see in front of us now is where the other abandoned building was, like the old squat that I took you guys to. I can't see it with the naked eye, but I don't have my glasses on. But I guess if I can zoom in as far as I go, and in the middle of the screen will be roughly the area where the other abandoned house is. And this is up inside the valley that I think I showed you on my Perique summer video. I was trying to explain a little bit of the lay of the land. So yeah, you know, you can kind of see things from the outside in. You know, obviously when you're going through a forest on a footpath, the video is somebody walking through a forest on a footpath. But when you can look into the forest from the other side of the valley and say that the footpath is, you know, somewhere there, it kind of helps kind of put things into context. Also, I found what I'm looking for: a piece of wood to cut some tobacco. Just pop that down there. This is one of my own tobaccos. This is actually the one that I made on one of my earlier videos back last year sometime, and it's the one that's mainly it's kind of like a mixture of stoved Virginias, a few different kinds of Virginia, with some Kentucky dark fired and kind of wrapped in burley leaves. It's probably one of my favourite ones I've been smoking of my own production, to the point where I'm slightly well, not disappointed, because nobody knows, but when I was doing this a year ago, you don't really know how it's going to turn out a year later. Whether it'll be a failed experiment that was fun, or whether you end up with something that's quite nice. And this is ending up something that's quite nice. I mean, 6 months ago, a little Swiss Army out today. Although it is a stainless blade, it does an admirable job. Yeah, it's while not a perfect coin because of the swirls of the tobacco, and I kind of find I just rub it out. The old end up with a kind of nice crinkle cut to everything. It just sits well in the pipe. A few little denser spots I just leave in, so I guess they're akin to a cube cut. But you can see that tiny little slice when it's rubbed out, it's quite voluminous. I think that's probably around about 200 grams. And the tin note, oh, it's lovely. And just pure natural tobacco-ness. I mean, yeah, there is some casing on here, but just a bit of sugared water, nothing, no topping or anything. So I'm going to load up a bowl of this, and I think I'm just going to continue up the track a little bit. I'm not sure what's up there. So yeah, I'll load this. Oh, faced with a choice. Take the right path, and it looks a bit flatter, or climb uphill. I think I'm going to climb uphill. Yeah, this tobacco, I'm really enjoying it actually. You can really taste the sort of sweet Virginias when you light it, and then once it sort of gets established, the bowl quite quickly start getting notes of the dark fired comes through. But overall, it's kind of reasonably smooth. 6 months ago, I had a very strange. It's almost as if the smoke left a residue in your mouth, kind of left you with like a gummy mouth. All that seems to have gone. God, it's quite a steep path actually. But yeah, it's kind of quite a relatively there's a sweetness to the tobacco, but then it is kind of the sweetness is offset by the dark fired somewhat, and the burley, but there isn't very much burley in this. Like I say, it's the one that I filmed making about nearly a year ago. Yeah, I don't know what made this path, or if indeed it's a path. Kind of looks almost like soil erosion. I mean, on the edges here, there's lots of exposed roots from the ground cover, which I guess the fact that the roots are exposed means the ground has been eroded, because roots don't generally grow in thin air. So I guess at one point they would have been into soil, and the soil's been eroded. So maybe during the snow melt, this is actually a lot of water comes down here. But as for it being a path, I mean, it could just be a dry waterway, because as far as I know, there isn't really anything in this direction that you would put a path to like this. Signs of probably a floor plan of a house or a barn. Some stonework there. Yeah, still, it's not getting any more not steeper. Right, nearly at the top, guys. Hang in there. God, I've had to rest my calves. This is a lot longer and a lot steeper than I thought it would be, this path. So I thought, I need to have a break halfway up. I hope it's more than halfway up. Thanks to everyone that's entered the giveaway so far. And for those of you who maybe aren't aware, yeah, I'm running a giveaway. There's a link to the original giveaway video down below in the description, in which you have a chance to win a pipe from my Etsy shop, and also the overall winner will receive a samples of my homemade tobacco. And for everybody that's done a VR, there's going to be a separate prize draw for VR makers only. And one of you guys will also win a selection of these homemade tobaccos. Well, the scale of this is enormous. It's almost like I'm entering some old Celtic earthworked fort, which I don't think we are. It's just similarities there. It looks like it's levelling out, hopefully. So I'm right on the ridge that separates the valley we walked up and kind of the valley that I live in. Obviously there isn't really a summit to ever reach. For those of you who have watched a few videos, you can sort of see the hill lines kind of just continue up and up and up until you get to the peaks. I'm hoping there's a little bit of a gap in the trees here and I can show, hopefully, where I live. So we're quite a way up. Again, I'll zoom in and put my village in centre screen so you can see how far we've come round and how far up we've climbed, in fact. So that's kind of quite a nice yeah, it does kind of show the lay of the valley quite well, actually. All the little hamlets. And then the video I made for my VR for Redcoats Renaissance, we kind of went up, we started off going up through the forest that you can see in front of us, and right up the valley there. The trees blocking the way now of the that's kind of further to the right of the peaks with some snow on them. Well, I think it's probably time to sign off, wrap the video up. It's probably gone on quite a long time already. I think I've got to the point where I'm going to turn round anyway. It is starting to cloud over again. There is, like I say, heavy storms forecast for later today. It's kind of funny, you do these walks, and some walks I film and don't publish, not because I consider them boring, well, but it's kind of one of the criterias of a video that I actually will edit and publish. It's when I kind of find something. So, you know, I think last time it was this beautiful waterfall, and this time it's probably this big glade of beech trees. There's something about the quality of the sound, it's like very still, and there is a bit of tension and humidity in the air due to the various weather fronts that are starting to mix around the mountains. So it wouldn't surprise me if we had a big lightning storm. Although I'm no expert on woodland management, I'm looking at most of the stumps here. They do look like they've been, what's the word, pollarded, I believe, where you get many trunks grow from the same root. And it kind of seems almost every one, so I don't know if this would have been managed at some point in history. Maybe any tree people can help me out on that one. Right then guys, definitely signing off. I think I'm going to walk back down this valley and hopefully not get too lost. Alright then guys, signing off. I hope you're having a great time and enjoying your pipes, and look forward to the next video and look forward to more comments and VRs for the giveaway. Alright then guys, signing off from southwestern France in a forest.